Today, let's look at a couple of books. These are the Muybridge books, done back in the 1800s. And what you get from these are studies of humans and animals broken down into frames of film, which he had a bunch of cameras lined up, and as the subject tripped a thread or a wire of multiple cameras, pictures were taken of the subject. So as you leaf through it, you see things like a man walking carrying a dumbbell, and everything is broken down with graphs behind the subject. What this helps you do is figure out how to make characters walk and run. A man going upstairs. Here's a man running. So this shows you a bunch of poses for that. How high and how far is his stride as he runs? What are his poses as he runs? This is why you need this book. Here's a guy jumping. And you see him come up to a pose and then jump up in the air over this high bar and then down and then run off. And this is it from the back, how it looks from the back view as he runs and jumps over. We can skip ahead and see not stop motion, but various poses of two guys boxing. What this helps you do, like I said, is break down any type of action you're looking for. This man is carrying a hod up a ladder. Now what a hod is pieces of wood with a stick on underneath, and what the guys did was they loaded bricks into this, and then they would climb the ladder up to the top of the building and make the chimney or the top of the building itself. But that was called a hod, and these guys were called hod carriers. Here's a guy who's lost part of his leg, and these are the poses he would do walking on one crutch or two? Yeah, two crutches. So if you ever had to animate a character walking on crutches, you would study this. Here's a boy with no legs showing you the poses for him getting in and out of a chair. Here's a guy that's lying down and the poses that he would take to get up and walk away. Here's a lady running, the lady sweeping, a lady going upstairs carrying a bucket. So you use these to study the human figure doing various things. Here's one of animals, and let's open it up and see what's in this one. Here's a horse walking, and he's pulling something, so it's a different walk than if he's just walking with no weight. Here he is from the front and the back. And what you see are the poses of the legs for his various positions walking. And you study these so that you can animate this. Look at all this stuff here. So these books were made because of a bet that a guy had that if a horse is running, something that we would never think of nowadays, but I guess people of money and leisure back in those days had time to think of this. If a horse is running, do his legs leave the ground? Do all four legs come up off the ground as he runs? Or not? And so Muybridge set up this camera system so that he could help this guy win the bet or lose the bet about the horse running. And it was a very complex experiment. There's a horse with somebody on the horse. Here's a horse trotting, and as you see, this horse for trotting does have all four legs off the ground, and then they come back and keeps going. But this shows you what sometimes somebody needs something and somebody figures out a way to solve this problem, and this was Muybridge's way of doing it. Here's a horse jumping. There's another one jumping. So you study these, and then you make quick, rough drawings of it to use in your animation, and you understand better what is going on. There's some more animals, like a camel. There's an elephant. There's a kitty cat. More kitty cat. There's a lion. A raccoon turning. There's a baboon. So some of these probably are digitized online, so you might not have to spend the big bucks. Like these cost me $20 a piece years and years ago. But I use them to figure out different movements of animals and people when I'm animating, and it's a good reference set to get. So keep drawing and keep looking at good reference.